As a regular jurist at the Hotelier India Awards, how do you think these awards help professionals raise the bar when it comes to their performances?
I think let's look at the entire hotel industry. I think the industry is about people, and people make great hotels. At Oberoi Hotels, our philosophy is that whatever we win, whatever we get, it's due to the quality of our people. And that's not only true for Oberoi Hotels, but I think that's true for all hotels. And I really think the Hotelier Awards honor the heroes who actually make the hotels what they are. And that is why I think they're significant in terms of recognizing talent and recognizing the best in the industry.
Thank you. Do you see a decline in the guests' appetite for luxury properties due to the confusion in the existing GST rates?
So I think you see whenever there is a new tax policy, it impacts for some time. I don't think there is a decline in the luxury occupancies. Our occupancies across the hotels are pretty robust right now. The challenge being that we really believe that 28% GST rate is actually too high. It is counterproductive to the growth of tourism in this country, whether from a foreign leisure traffic perspective or even from a domestic leisure perspective. And I think tourism, I read a comment somewhere which said that, industries which are in the luxury space or only in the, or in the negative list sometimes are going to be taxed 28%. And I think it's actually completely incorrect to tax hotels at 28%. I think the moment you reduce it to 18% or 15 or 12, you will see that there will be a big jump in numbers.
As a consumer, I'm hoping for 5. But is there a way that you could reach out to the government to, rethink their policy decisions?
We are already talking to the government across various forums, across various panels, and I think the government is sensitive to the point. But I also believe that nationwide, with so many products, it's only been 4 months. There's already been some rationalization. We saw rationalization happening in food and beverage rates, especially more so in the standalone segment, though. But I believe that there will be rationalization on GST on room rates also, because you see the Indian tourism industry is just about started growing. And they really need to encourage it instead of discouraging it. The 28% GST is a discouraging step for the future growth of the industry.
Fair enough. And my last question is, in again, it's a policy-related question. In the recent policy decisions by the government, what factors could spur more demand for luxury hotels other than the 28% GST? Anything else that the government could do that can help in the growth?
So see, one thing is the industry has been awarded infrastructure status, but the industry needs to be awarded infrastructure status without a limit of 200 crores. I mean, that limit needs to further come down. I know they're reducing it already, but that really needs to really reduce down, because you need to encourage small, nice boutique hotels also everywhere. Means why can't a nice boutique hotel be made in 20 crores? And so why shouldn't that qualify for infrastructure? So what is one of the biggest costs for hotels in India? One of the biggest costs for hotels in India is actually real estate. That is where the government can actually create real estate zones where it can work on a public-private partnership, where you could take 6% of the revenue and actually allow the hoteliers to make hotels. So I think that's one. I think the second big important point that I really think is the Indian coastline is among the best in the world, and I don't think we've freed it due to coastal regulation zone rules, CRZ rules. I think we really need to look at CRZ while keeping the environment in mind. But like I said earlier, we need to open up some coastal tourism zones, okay, and not the entire coastlines. And in those specific tourism zones, maybe relax the CRZ guidelines from 200 meters to 25 meters to 50 meters. I really do not think we are actually leveraging the potential of tourism that we have in this amazing country.
I agree. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, currently the W Hotel in Goa also is facing similar challenges. They're still having litigation issues.
I would not know about the W, but I definitely know that the Indian coastal regulation zone guidelines really need some level of tweaking.